How's it going, Laser Bruises? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Ever 17. We finally had our first ending. Amazingly, a good end. Somehow, we just naturally came to a good end, which was nice. But having had no idea how we're going to get any further, I have hunted down a exorbitantly large flowchart here, which is, as you can see, huge and unbelievably complicated. And after hiring a team of MIT scientists, I think we figured out how that we can make a little bit of progress. Because otherwise it's going to take a while. I mean, it's going to take a while. We're going to start utilizing skips as well, if we can figure out how to do that effectively. There are shortcuts through Special that allow us to jump in at certain points of the game, but I don't know enough about those points to do that. So we're going to hit New Game, and we're going to skip everything we haven't already done. Now, according to the flowchart, we were very close to Sarah's ending anyway. So if we stay down that path and make a few changes, we can head to Sarah's ending pretty quickly. The other ones are going to be much longer, so let's jump into a new game, and I'll bring you back as soon as something new happens, as soon as you make a different choice. Alright, finally, after 10 minutes of skipping or something, this is the first one that's really going to make any difference. So everything's been the same up to this point. We just got Sarah in the team. We haven't found the others yet, it's just Sarah, you, and I, and we need to worry, as opposed to not worry. It's very specific how you get to the proper ending with Sarah. You have to do 4 specific choices, exactly right, or that's it. So I'll show you this one and then we'll be cutting again for a while, I imagine, so worry. Huh? What's wrong? I couldn't help but notice a dark look at her eyes. There was nothing left of the ninja attitude that she departed with. Did something happen? Sarah? Sarah? Hey. What? You're right? Sure, fine, great. Why do you ask? Well, I mean, you look so depressed. No, it's not that at all. It's just... we didn't find an exit, so I'm kind of feeling down. Is that real, all that's bothering you? Yeah, that's all. Sarah's spirit seemed to lift a little. Seeing his smile made me feel a bit relieved. Anyway, just standing around isn't going to get us anywhere. And we are back to skipping. I will bring you back at the next thing. That's just important for Sarah's ending. Alright, so this one is the most important choice when it comes to switching from Yu's path onto Sarah's path. If you go, I help you, I'll help you, you are locked into Yu's path at that point. If you click, I'll wait here, you're locked into Sarah's path at this point. So we're going to wait here. There will be more skipping though. I'll wait here. So what are we going to do? Oh well, then I'll have to make do with Takeshi. Jeez, you're a piece of work. Can't you let your real feelings show? Don't be getting any strange ideas. You do and I'll knock you down, got it? Take it easy, there's no way I'd try anything, even by mistake. When the two of them disappeared at the far end of the corridor, they were still going at it. Those two? Yeah? I don't know, I think they make a pretty good couple, don't you? Think so? Yeah, Naki is the kind of person who tells people she likes what she really thinks. She speaks her mind. Takeshi kinda seems to like that too. I wasn't sure why, but somehow I was a little jealous of you and Takeshi. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't open up to anyone like that. I had nothing to share. After a while, the two had disappeared. Sarah and I hadn't spoken another word. The two of us just leaned against a wall and stared into the darkness. I was desperately trying to think of some way to break through the wall that had formed between us. Sarah, how old are you? Finally, the words tumbled out of my mouth. Where'd that come from? I thought I told you. I don't think so. I'm a junior, I'm 16, I was born January 21st. Oh, and I'm an Aquarius. She rattled it off so smoothly, she might have been singing a song she knew. A new kid? I didn't know. When I tried to remember, it was like my mind would fog over. I couldn't get close to it. It was like a mirage in the desert. I wonder how old I am. You don't know that either. Nope. Huh, that's kind of sad. Yeah. But maybe it's good in a way. What do you mean? Well, maybe it was something that you wanted to forget about. Just kidding. Sarah's expression relaxed into a silly look. What? Don't scare me like that. Sorry. I know, maybe if I chopped you down, we'd find out how old you were. Like a tree. Count the rings. Huh? You know, maybe you got rings like a tree stump. For some reason, my eyes strayed to the palms of my hands. Rings! In the darkness, only dimly illuminated by the emergency lights, my fingers appeared to glow slightly white. I still didn't know what had happened to my finger. Your finger? Muttering this, Sarah grabbed my finger. It was so sudden, it put me at a loss for words. In the darkness, Sarah whispered words as if confirming something as she gripped my thumb. Moon sprite shouldering a long bow, waiting inside a dream. What does that mean? Sarah just shook her head. There was no sign that she was going to answer me. She just murmured the words like a spell or a nursery rhyme as she held my thumb gently. A moon sprite. I wonder why Sarah had suddenly grabbed my thumb. Still, I didn't have any urge to pull it away from her. Is that what she was singing when she was sitting in the whale room last time? As I remained aware of my thumb, I searched for an answer from Sarah's slightly sweaty warm palm. Yum. We're back. I think we'll be okay now. It was a hassle looking for the valve, but with the two back, Sarah finally released my thumb. In the darkness, I couldn't very well make out Sarah's expression. The area around Sarah's mouth pulled slightly down, as if she was sad. Warmth lingered around my thumb. I don't know why, but I hesitated to wipe the warmth away and gently inserted my hand into my pocket, leaving my thumb extended. That's adorable. Alright, that should be us to skip again. Yep. And I'll bring you back at the next choice. There's a couple more to go before we are fully on her path. But we will be soon enough. Takeshi and you tackled the main work. There was hardly anything for Sarah and myself to do, as we knew squat about machines. We functioned as assistants, shining flashlights, handing over tools and loosening valves as instructed. After this and that, we succeeded in repairing the generator. It was just like Sarah had said. The cause of the blackout was the opening of the safety valve, due to the drop in air pressure. When pressure from the steam valve becomes excessive, the valve automatically opens to release the gas to prevent damage. We've done that. I'll bring you back. Okay, this is an important decision as well, but we have to say no problem in getting her a soda. We did this last time, so I'm just going to keep skipping. Keep skipping. Alright, despite the fact that we haven't been in this very long, this is the last choice that actually really matters when it comes to Sarah's ending. So if we click go with Sarah and Sora, we should be set up for the good, final Sarah ending. Go with Sarah and Sora. Huh? Is that you, kid? Kid, you decided to come this way? Yeah, but where do you plan to hide? Oh wait, there is one more decision, sorry. If you're gonna stay with us, you have to help us think of something. I ran with the two of them. I know, I got a great idea. Saying that, Sarah stopped suddenly. What? What is it? At times like this, I call for ninja skills. Ninja skills? Sora, when Takeshi comes through, use RSD to show him an empty corridor. This is known as Elite Art of Ninja Camouflage. Huh? But that would be... Isn't that against the rules? Don't be a spoil sport. We ban instant travel and bioscans, but not using MMIH, right? That's sneaky. In the lexicon of the ninja, we call it a secret technique. No, I'm not having any of it. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't agree either. What? Then how about the elite ninja doppelganger technique? Huh? We can use RSD to make it appear that there are loads of us to confuse Takeshi. That's the same thing. Now, why don't we just say no ninja techniques using MMIH? You two are such prudes. Just then, someone's here. It's probably you. Probably. We peered through the darkness in the direction of the sound. We made out the silhouette of a person. The body could only be... Yikes. No, it's Takeshi. What, really? Hurry, we gotta hide. We dashed down the corridor. Oh no, that way's no good. A watertight door blocked our way forward. We're stuck. A dead end? That's what I'm saying. There's no room nearby that we could escape into. We should have hidden in a room somewhere. Takeshi was heading towards us for sure. At this rate, we'd be caught for sure. Now what are we gonna do? Looks like we have no choice but to give up. Sarah was flustered. Sora resigned to fate. On the other hand, No, not yet. At this distance, I decided it would be better to make a dash for the nearest room. Let's go, I think we'll make it. I dragged Sarah and Sora back down the corridor. We found an entrance and dove into a room. But... Hey, if it ain't the kid. Whoa, what happened? I couldn't believe it, he cut us off. It's no good, go back. Huh, what do you mean? Just as we went to turn back to the corridor. Gotcha. It was Takeshi. Aww, he caught us. Geez, that took a long time. Oh, well, it's all because the kid said we should go back. But, I didn't know what else to do. Can stomp. Not long after that, he found you as well. We met in the conference room. Alright, back to skipping. I hate to decide what to do. We're gonna go with repairs with Sarah. This is the final major choice. After this, it should be all new, and we should be on our path towards Sarah's ending. Takeshi, I'll come along and help with the repairs. What about Naku? She's tougher than the rest of us. She'll be fine. Besides, if something goes wrong, she'd use let MMIH to contact us. If something happened to her during that shaking, you needn't worry about that. Currently there appears to be no direct damage inside Lemu. As for Yu's whereabouts, the sensors should be online in a moment, and then I'll be able to detect her. Alright, we'll forget about you for now. Let's check the warehouse, and we'll worry about everything else. Alright. She's fine, I promise. Promise? How could I promise that? But somehow I was sure of it. Okay. With that one word, the tension seemed to leave Sarah. What are you doing? You're gonna get left behind. The next thing I noticed, we were the only people left in the room. Sarah and I chased after everyone. We quickly climbed the stairs. We were told that it wasn't urgent, but we still couldn't afford to be careless. Tsugumi quietly shouldered the heavy toolbox, climbing higher and higher. Sarah and I followed behind her, while Takeshi and Sora lagged behind. Hey Tsugumi! I called out to Tsugumi up ahead. What? Tsugumi responded without looking back. There's something that's been bugging me. What? Why were you eating a hot dog? I still couldn't figure it out. Tsugumi's behaviour was incomprehensible to me. Then I hit upon it. It was like she'd been showing off. But what she said was, because I wanted to eat a hot dog. That's it? Is that wrong? I don't think it's wrong, but did you think that might make Takeshi angry? Sarah chimed in with a question of her own. How could I know what he's thinking? Suppose you're right. We didn't know about them until right before either. After that, we fell into silence. It looked like Takeshi and Sora were having a low-key conversation behind us. Well, Tsugumi started to speak suddenly. Maybe I did want to play a trick on him, just a little bit. For a second, I didn't know what she was talking about. Then I realized she meant the whole hot dog thing. He's even more stubborn than I thought. Tsugumi gave a rare laugh. But it was the kind of laugh that would raise the hair on the back of your neck. Jesus Christ. We finally arrived at this white stock. Looking around the floor. Everything seemed normal, but we could hear a hissing sound coming from somewhere. We walked toward the sound. Yesterday everything was fine here. Why do you think something would go wrong all of a sudden? Well, not everything goes as forecasted. It's probably because you were all running around like lunatics. Huh? You guys are making such a fuss. You probably threw Lemu off its axis. Just kidding. Man, she's lightened up. Tsugumi's flippant remark had tensed the atmosphere around us. What's wrong? If you don't hurry up, I'll leave you behind. Tsugumi walked briskly ahead. Hey, what's the matter with her? How would I know? She probably fell in her head. That's not nice. She really is quite unpredictable. For a while, all we could do is stand around not knowing what to say. We arrived in front of the room, making the strange noise. So it's coming from inside this warehouse. I'll run a scan to determine the situation inside. Saying that, Sora disappeared. The steam in there isn't going to explode if we open the door, right? Tsugumi fixed her eyes on the door. It's probably fine. How would you know? Do you... I'm just saying what you want to hear. Sora appeared in front of the door. I finished the diagnostic. Atmosphere pressure is normal, no traces of toxic gas detected. However, the temperature and humidity of the room is slightly elevated. An area of the pipe is ruptured, and there's a slight water leak. The water is about 4 inches at its deepest point. Exactly as I thought. What? Nothing. If that's all that's wrong, it should be no problem. No, I suppose not. Let's go in. If we fix it, there won't be a problem, right? Yes, please hurry. We opened the door. We looked toward the wall that was making the hissing sound. There was a faint crack in the pressure regulating pipe, and the water was dancing out of it in a fine mist. Are you sure this is okay? Maybe. Sure, something small like this, we can fix in a second. Tsugumi opens the toolbox and started taking out tools. What should I do? The pipe bit bent. I'm going to reset the metal fitting. Would you support the pipe for me? Roger that. What should I do? Over there. There is a valve connecting to this pipe. You see it? I want you to loosen that a bit. At your service. And what about me? I'll tell you which tools I need as you pass them to me. Got it. We got good at that, for working for you. We started to work. We opened and closed a number of valves, connected and repaired pipes, and welded shut cracks. You're good at this. At what? Welding. Where'd you learn to weld? You really want to know? No, I mean, you know, asking meaningless questions is a bad habit of yours. Satisfied? Huh? What does that mean? Alright, I won't ask anymore. Every once in a while, I felt that Tsugumi's words seemed out of place. I stole glances at Tsugumi's expression as I gave a look, gave and took back tools. Of course, her face didn't really tell me anything. Sora watched us for a while from the side. After a while, an intercom in the corner of the room sounded. What's that sound? Someone calling? It's from you. It appears she's in the security office. So Naki was alright? Oh, this is when she goes to try to hack into that computer to find out about her father. That's a relief. Excuse me, everyone, but you was calling me. I must be going. Okay, go for it. We should be able to handle the rest ourselves. Okay, I'll leave the rest to you. Saw her approach the intercom and disappeared, as if it had sucked her in. We knew she could travel instantly, but it was still an odd sight. Kid, I'm all set here, so please work on the valves for me. What? Sure, no problem. I moved over to the area by the pipes that she indicated. First that blue valve. What? Oh, what was that? For a second I saw something. Now twist the blue valve. The intercom continued to ring, and the hissing sound of the steam persisted. That feeling I just had, it was like before. I know, it was like when I was going to the conference room from the kiosk this morning. Now Sarah, hold right there for me. Okie dokie, all set. Kid, do the valve in the order that I just told you. Hey kid, are you listening? Yeah, I got it. Sorry, the red and then the blue, right? Right, loosen it and then close it. I started on the blue valve in front of me. I need to loosen it. And right then it happened again. Inside my head went all white. I felt like my consciousness was whisked off somewhere else. But what was that? An image flashed at the back of my mind, and I felt that my brain was being hammered by light. It would stop and start, boxes falling and shattering to the floor, massive amounts of water cascading down, and then... What the fuck? What was that? I remember losing all power to stand up and crumpled right there on the spot. That was... It can't be. Hey, what's the matter? Hey! Takeshi took my shoulders, bringing me back from wherever I'd been. Takeshi? It's me, kid. You okay? Takeshi, trouble. Huh? If we stay here, there's going to be trouble. We have to escape now. I coughed the words out deliriously. Things are going to fall, and water will flood in, and someone will get really hurt. What are you talking about? You aren't making sense. Right now, we have to escape. I felt like I was filling up with fear and panic. Calm down, just calm down. Out of the way. My left cheek burned like it had been scalded. Calm down. Pressing my hand on my hurting face, I stood up. The pounding of my heart finally got under control. You've done enough. Saying that, Tsugumi pointed to a corner of the room. Go over there and sit quietly. What? You don't get it? I'm saying you're in the way. Hey, that's a little harsh, don't you think? I mean, he's probably tired is all. You be quiet. Listen, at times like this, people like him are a liability. He's going to make a costly mistake. You don't want to cause an accident here, do you? Well, that makes sense, but now you know what I mean. Get out of the way. We'll get somebody else to do this. Alright. I walked meekly to the corner. After that, the work went smoothly, and finally we succeeded in getting everything back to normal. What I had seen hadn't been real. Thankfully, my predictions had been off. Or were they? With the repairs finished, everyone left the room, and I was in the warehouse alone. I wonder what had been going on in my mind before. While everything had all turned out alright, it bothered me to no end. Yesterday in the generator room and then this. I wonder what was wrong with me. I was still without my memory. I couldn't even find any of the pieces. But maybe... I thought that maybe these crazy flashes that kept occurring had something to do with my lost memory. Maybe I'm closer to getting my memory back. I floated around the warehouse thinking about it. Suddenly I noticed that deeper in the corner of the room there was another door. There appeared to be another room on the other side of the wall. The door was open, as if it was inviting me in. It was a tiny, tiny room. Inside the room was dimly lit and it smelt damp and mouldy. The lights were off, and closing the door made it even darker. I could just make out the interior of the room. The wall looked cold and sturdy. The room was covered with cables and pipes. I imagined that the room was used for storing equipment used in the warehouse. The far wall had a small square window. My mind felt all foggy. Maybe I was just fatigued, like Takeshi said. A lot had happened over the last 3 days. I'd heard a lot and thought about a lot of things. I don't know what it is, but I feel so sluggish. I sat down in the corner of the room and hugged my knees. Looking up, I saw moonlight streaming in through the window. It was warm, full light. I noticed that the walls of the room were made of concrete. As I sat up with my back against the cold wall, I stared up at the full moon shining in from outside the window. The moon was far away. The broad night sky contained in that little square space. The bluish shadows of the moonlight crawled slowly across the grey walls. I looked at the moon and its shadows and let out a sigh in the darkness. I didn't want to think about anything. I pretended not to notice the freezing coldness. The room had a very small bed. The sheets were pulled tight. There wasn't a single wrinkle or even a speck of dust. Next to the bed lay a chair. That with all the sharp edges rounded off. One of the chair's legs was bent off in an unnatural direction. The door was closed. It was a steel door with no knob. How are we in a prison cell? I felt eyes upon me from the corner of the ceiling. A sharp, intense pair of eyes boring into my body. I couldn't see a body belonging to the eyes, but a harsh laugh rang loudly in my ears. Next to a lens, a red light was on. The red light shone on the ceiling, as if it was cutting off the room's corners into darkness. Suddenly I heard the sobbing voice of someone behind me. Someone was crying on the other side of the wall. Ouch, ouch. Is it the Coco? Girl? Small voice of a girl echoed in the darkness, and then I heard, "Shut up, quit whining." It was the gruff voice of a man ringing out. I suspected that the girl had been hit. It sounded like she had fallen on the hard concrete and was crying even harder. Ow, it hurts. Help, someone. I covered my ears with my hands and shook my head. I'm sorry. Still, the girl's cries of pain didn't stop. As if trying to escape, I crawled across the floor to the opposite corner of the room and curled up. The moon's light was bright. I covered myself with a blanket, as if to hide, and closed my eyes. The girl just cried and cried. I wonder what that sound could be. I didn't want to think about it anymore. Even if I closed my eyes, even if I plugged my ears, the image of the girl struggling on the floor jumped back into my mind. Ouch, ow. The voice gradually got weaker and faded. Finally, it disappeared completely. In the silence, only a muffled sob echoed hollowly. The air in the room was so dank and stale that it felt heavy and strange on the skin. Help me. I heard a feeble voice. Help me. It's all your fault. The sudden curses of the man drowned out in the girl's voice. All of this was just the way you wanted it. Right? You best fess up to all of it. You knew from the start that things would turn out like this. No, I didn't know. Liar. So why did you run away? I didn't run away. You ran away. You left that girl and ran away. No, I promised. And you broke it. Or maybe you meant to break it from the start. No. You brought happiness for yourself. You traded it for that girl's life. It's weird how the game keeps freaking out. There must be some audio in the background that's making the game freak out. Apologies every time it does that jitter. I'm not sure what's causing that. It seems to come fix itself every time. It just takes a moment. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, we need to wrap this up. We'll just finish this sequence. No. Yeah, I promise. To wait like a good kid until you came for me. I'll wait like a good girl. I'll wait forever. No. I shouted and grabbed the chair lying on the floor with both hands. Alright, we need to wrap this one up because we are super duper out of time. I'm pretty sure it's hard to say how long the episode's been because of the all the skipping. It's good that it does have a skipping function despite how old it is, which is pretty nice, but we are on our path to Sarah's ending. It's exciting. We'll be back soon with more Ever 17 and more Sarah's ending. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.